Dead men tell no tales, but their ships speak volumes. Welcome to the Cursed Compass, where we explore the darkest maritime mysteries.
For over a century, the Great Lakes region carried a persistent folklore regarding the SS Hudson. Local stories established its reputation as Lake Superior's legendary ghost ship, a spectral vessel that reappeared in the fog on the anniversary of its sinking. The empirical reality, however, is grounded in a cataclysmic meteorological event. On September 16, 1901, the vessel was simply overwhelmed by a violent gale, taking all 25 crew members to the bottom of the lake. This animated depth chart illustrates the extreme conditions of its final resting place. Discovered 118 years later, the wreck sits at a staggering depth of 825 feet. Understanding this tragedy requires deconstructing the vessel's 1887 engineering, analyzing the physics of bulk cargo failure, and reviewing the modern deepwater search constraints that finally located the wreck. Resolving a century-old missing persons case requires stripping away the myth using rigorous marine forensics. The SS Hudson was constructed in 1887 by the Detroit Dry Dock Company. The vessel belonged to the package freighter classification. Unlike standard, slower bulk carriers, package freighters were designed for rapid transit. Achieving this speed required heavy investment, bringing the Hudson's final construction cost to an immense $275,000. Its heavy steel hull measured 288 feet in length and provided a vast internal cargo capacity of 2,650 tons. The Hudson was a highly engineered, state-of-the-art vessel built specifically for specialized transit. Its sudden, total loss was deeply alarming to the maritime industry, prompting immediate questions about its structural limits. The core of the ship's speed came from a propulsion system built by the Detroit Engine Works, a massive 1,300 horsepower triple expansion steam engine. This schematic illustrates the triple expansion design. By cycling steam through 3 progressively larger cylinders, the engine extracts maximum kinetic energy. We can trace the steam as it expands sequentially through a 23-inch high-pressure, 36-inch intermediate, and 62-inch low-pressure bore, all sharing a 48-inch stroke. Driving an engine of this scale required an immense heat source. 2 massive Scotch marine boilers provided that heat, operating at a continuous working pressure of 160 pounds per square inch. While this power plant earned the ship the title Greyhound of the Lakes, it required constant, immense steam pressure to function. Any failure in that high-pressure system during severe weather created a fatal vulnerability. On September 15, 1901, the Hudson departed Duluth, Minnesota, bound for Buffalo. Workers had loaded the hull with thousands of tons of bulk wheat and flax. Around the time the ship passed the Apostle Islands, it intercepted a severe meteorological event, forcing it into a struggle against rapid, heavy wave action. On the morning of September 16th, lighthouse keepers stationed at Eagle River, Michigan, provided the final eyewitness account, spotting the ship dead in the water and listing badly. The intersection of an overloaded hull and extreme Lake Superior wave action marked the exact moment the ship exceeded its engineering tolerances. Bulk agricultural products like flax behave dangerously like a fluid when in motion, creating the high-risk condition known as cargo shift. This cross-section illustrates cargo shift mechanics. When a violent wave forces the hull to roll, the loose grain slides en masse to one side. This mass transfer alters the ship's center of gravity, and a heavy downward vector locks the vessel into an unrecoverable list. Archival reports present a secondary hypothesis. The vessel suffered a total loss of its 1,300 horsepower engine during the peak of the storm. A paralyzed engine removes all steerageway. Without forward propulsion, a heavily listing vessel will turn parallel to the wave troughs, ensuring an inevitable capsize. Downed telegraph lines in 1901 and a lack of primary wreckage created a massive information vacuum. This absence of verifiable data allowed the ghost ship myths to flourish for over a century. In mid-2019, a deep-water search expedition led by Jerry Ellison and Craig Smith located a likely sonar target roughly 4 miles off Eagle Harbor. Verifying a sonar target beneath 820 feet of crushing water pressure presents an immense technical challenge. To physically identify the target, the team deployed a specialized optical camera tethered to a 1,000-foot cable. The physical depths of Lake Superior push far beyond the biological limits of human divers, necessitating advanced tethered robotics to reclaim lost historical data. This 3D wireframe models the wreck's resting position based on the optical data. The 288-foot steel hull rests completely intact, but is speared violently, bow first, into the lakebed mud, leaving the stern elevated roughly 20 feet off the bottom. Notice the highlighted region along the sheared upper deck. This confirms the absence of the ship's wooden cabins, which violently tore away from the sinking steel hull due to their buoyancy. The intact state of this lower hull provides definitive proof. The ship did not break apart on the surface, but rather rolled rapidly and sank in one massive piece. The final point of confirmation came when the drop camera passed over the stern and captured the letters painted on the hull, HUD. The combination of archival research and deep water technology has finally laid the ghost ship to rest, preserving the SS Hudson as an untouched, sealed artifact of 1880s industrial marine engineering.